So I just watched a video, a film, I guess, a short film about a woman in her, I would assume, late 50s, 60s, 50s maybe. And she was at that time of life where she had a career, her children, she was married, had a career, her children were now grown up and had their own little life, their own things going on. And she was feeling quite frustrated with her husband, like their routine, their lack of spontaneity, their lack of interesting sort of experiencing life together and growing, and that excitement you might have when you're younger or when you first start seeing someone. So she's going through her own feelings of frustration, and you could feel from as she was questioning her life situation, you could see that she was on one hand really frustrated, but on the other hand really tapping into this freedom, this tapping into looking for more than just the 9 to 5. You know, she spent all this time building a family, building a career, and it wasn't it. She's at a point where it was like that wasn't providing what she thought it would provide or what she'd hoped it would provide. And she was remembering being young, remembering that feeling of excitement, of endless possibility, that feeling of magic, of, you know, that feeling of adventure, that feeling of strength and growth and power. And you could feel that in her remembering that or recapturing that. And in the end, she left her husband. She knew she had to grow and move on. It's quite amazing to watch, actually. And it just highlights that the beauty that we're looking for isn't found in relationship, isn't found in all these things we imagine it's in. The beauty is such simplicity. The beauty is here. The beauty is in this evolution. Like they've become quite stagnant in their routine, in their way of living, and this longing in her for this magicalness, this sense of growth, of evolution. It was really beautiful. And that's the way it is. Life is seemingly moving and seemingly growing and deepening and expanding. Always moving towards this expansion, this growth. And like this river flowing, and being able to ride on that river, being able to allow that flowing river to flow, life to happen. Normally we want to hold on. We find a rock and want to hold on to a rock or a tree stump or something in the river. We try to hold on. We try to make it permanent. Whereas life is this ever flowingness, this flowing river, this moving river. Appearances changing, appearances appearing and disappearing, this constant flow and movement. to be in flow with that, to be in flow with that, rather than holding on to beliefs and ideas. To go with that flow, to go with that river. We don't know where it's heading, we don't know what's going to happen. We look for this stability, we look for this permanence, and in a way that's a natural thing to look for in this changing appearance, to look for this solid permanence. And that also is part of this, to discover that permanence. That permanence is what you are beyond form, what this is beyond form. That's the permanent part of it, this rock part of it. Not being bashed around, knowing deeply who you are, knowing deeply beyond mentally knowing, but knowing deeply what you are as this freedom, as this not a thing. But then the other side of that coin is to be in flow, to be open in flow. This constant change, this constant flowing of form, this constant expansion, this constant deepening, this constant flux, while at the same time this rootedness, such beauty, such beauty.